Rosmy BP de Blanca, a second-year college student with the course BTVT Ed, major in food service management. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you a short summary report about the lesson for Marxism. So without further ado, let's jump to the video. So Marxism is a social, political, and economic development named after Karl Marx. It examines the effect of capitalism on labor, productivity, and economic development and argues for a workers' revolutionary to overturn capitalism in favor of communism. Marxism posits that the struggle between social class, specifically between bourgeois or capitalists and proletariat or workers, defines economic relation in a capitalist economy and will inevitably lead to revolutionary communism. Marx wrote that the power relationships between capitalists and workers were inherently exploitative and would inevitably create class conflict. He believed that this conflict would ultimately lead to revolution, in which working class would overthrow the capitalist class and seize control of the economy. Under Marxism, we have here classical Marxism, Althusserianism, hegemony or hegemony, and post-Marxism. In classical Marxism, Marx argued that the significant period in history is constructed around a particular mode of production. That is, the way in which a society is organized, example, slave, feudal, or capitalist, to produce the necessaries of life, food, shelter, and etc. In general terms, each mode produces specific ways of obtaining the necessaries of life, specific social relationships between workers and those who control the mode of production, and a specific social institution, including cultural ones. While in Althusserianism, the ideas of Louis Althusser had an enormous influence on cultural theory and popular culture. As Hall during 1978 suggests, Althusser's intervention and their consequent development are enormously formative for the field of cultural studies. Althusser's most significant contribution to the field is his different attempts to theorize the concept of ideology. Althusser begins by rejecting mechanistic interpretation of the base superstructure formulation, insisted on the concept of the social formation. According to Althusser, a social formation consists of three practices: the economic, the political, and the ideological. In hegemony or hegemony, for Gramsci, a political concept developed to explain the absence of socialist revolutions in the Western capitalist democracies. The concept of hegemony is used by Gramsci during 2009 to refer to a condition in a process in which a dominant class does not merely rule a society but leads it through the exercise of intellectual and moral leaderships. Hegemony involves a specific kind of consensus. A social group seeks to present its own particular interest as the general interest of the society as a whole. On the other hand, post-Marxism and cultural studies, post-Marxism can mean at least two things, as Ernesto Laclau and Chantal Mouffe during 2001 point out in their deeply influential contribution to post-Marxism: hegemony and socialist strategy. Towards a radical democratic politics, if our intellectual project in this book is post-Marxist, it is evidently also post-Marxist. To be post-Marxist is to leave behind Marxism for something better, whereas to be post-Marxists is to seek to transform Marxism by adding to it recent theoretical developments from specifically feminism, postmodernism, post-structuralism, and Lacanian psychoanalysis. Laclau and Maffei are more post-Marxist. They are post-Marxists. So that's all. I hope you learned something. Thank you.